welcome to my I Love the 70s video. This is the third video in a series that I am doing in collaboration with Jamie over at I Love Jamie. I will link her video right here somewhere. Right here, right now. I think it's always opposite side, so it's probably right here. I'm learning. But anyways, make sure you go and check her out as well. She has the same things that I do, answering the same questions about what she likes and dislikes maybe from the 70s. We will be answering the exact same questions as the last two videos that we did for the 90s and the 80s. So let's get started. So the first question is, what is my favorite song from the 70s? And like my other videos, there's no way I can pick a song. Not gonna happen. I can narrow it down to bands that I like, but I love the 70s so much, and there's so many bands that I like, so I'm going to rapid fire all of them, and this isn't even all of them, but it's like the top bands that I like from the 70s. Number one, Fleetwood Mac. They're definitely my number one. I love Fleetwood Mac. I listen to them regularly. I play a couple of their songs on the piano. I like to think I'm good at singing them, but you'll never find out. But we listen to Fleetwood Mac a lot. Also, the Beatles. I love the Beatles. I know they started in the 50s, but I prefer later Beatles music. So 60s, late 60s, early 70s, Beatles music is totally my jam. Actually, I think a lot of these started in the 60s, if we're being honest, but they became more prominent in the 70s. So that's why they're on my 70s list. So we've got Fleetwood Mac, the Beatles, Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, Queen, Aerosmith, Earth, Wind and Fire to add some other kind of genre in there, the Bee Gees, and I love ABBA as well, which so many people judge me for, but it was kind of something I was brainwashed to like by my mom growing up because she loved ABBA growing up. So, just to say, I guess Fleetwood Mac is rock, but I consider them very, I don't know, almost folky in a way. So I love folk music, kind of like Fleetwood Mac. I love the whole like weird rock, I do a lot of drugs kind of music that you get from the Beatles and Led Zeppelin, and then the regular rock, but I also enjoy disco quite a bit. So there's just a lot of things I like, music-wise, but Fleetwood Mac, probably my number one from the 70s. My favorite movies, for question number 2, and there's not a lot of movies that I really like from the 70s, and I ended up looking it up, and it seems like a lot of the really popular movies in the 70s were like horror films, which is weird. It was a time for horror films. And I like horror movies, but they're never like on my list of things that are my favorite. But noteworthy things from the 70s that I do like is I do like The Godfather quite a bit. I watch it with my grandpa every year. And so I enjoy The Godfather. And then something that's just like my personal favorite. I love it so much. Thanks to my dad. Star Wars. Star Wars started in the 70s, and Star Wars is the love of my life. I love Star Wars. And then, just a random thing, I also really like The Clockwork Orange, is it The or A Clockwork Orange? I always called it The, but maybe that's not it. Yes, A Clockwork Orange. That movie is super messed up. It's not really a horror, but it's just really, it's a messed up movie. And I don't know why I like it. I like it on like a psychological level because I did go to school for psychology for a while. And I do like some of the like theories and messages that it puts out within the really messed up story. So there are things I enjoy about The Clockwork Orange, but beware if you do choose to watch it or read it, that it is a messed up story. All right, so question number 3 is what are my favorite TV shows from the 70s? And I actually did watch a lot of TV shows from the 70s, and I just didn't realize that they were from the 70s, but I kind of narrowed it down to my favorites. I really like Happy Days. I've watched probably almost every episode of Happy Days growing up. It was one of my favorite things that came on like later at night. And I like it. I mean, who doesn't like Happy Days, right? I also like the Brady Bunch quite a bit. It's super cheesy, and I know that, but I do like the Brady Bunch. I definitely had a crush on, I don't know his name, the actor, the middle one. The middle kind of chubby boy. I totally had a crush on him growing up. Well, when I was younger, not older. And then, special note, even though this is like the most losery thing that I could say, but I love the Little House on the Prairie TV show from the 70s. I seriously remember I would come home from school every, whatever day it was, I think it was Wednesday, every Wednesday, come home from school, and the first thing, like, I wouldn't go play with my friends, I wouldn't ever make plans, because Wednesday was the day that after school, the Hallmark Channel would play Little House on the Prairie, and I've watched every single episode of that show. Okay, let's move on to number 4, which is, who is your celebrity crush from the 70s? And I will be honest, I don't find very many people from the 70s attractive. But oh my gosh, Harrison Ford, I love him so much. Harrison Ford is so good looking. I still think he's good looking, and he's super old. I'm a fan of his new earring. But anyways, Harrison Ford, love of my life. I love him. So good looking. I don't know. He's the best. I think he was probably a skis, which is too bad, but he's the best to look at from the 70s. I actually make the joke all the time that I never realized that the actor who plays Luke Skywalker, what is his name? Mark? Is it Mark? I know his last name. But anyways, the guy who plays Luke Skywalker back in the day actually was a pretty good looking guy, but I can't tell when he's by Harrison Ford. Just terrible. So, yeah. When he's alone, I can tell he's good looking. But Harrison Ford, he outshines everybody. Love him to death. All right, question number 5 is, what is my favorite fashion trend from the 70s? And like usual, because I don't like to wear colors and stuff like that, it's not, I don't know, the 70s isn't really my jam for clothes, but I do appreciate a good high-waisted pair of jeans or like a high-waisted skirt, because I have 2 kids, and let's be honest, when you have kids, nobody wants to wear low-rise jeans ever again, and it doesn't matter how like skinny you are afterward. High-waisted jeans are where it's at, and I wish they were more popular. All right, number 6. I'm getting lost on the numbers. Number 6, favorite hairstyle from the 70s, and mine would have to be like, is it called feathered, I guess? Like feathered hair. I mean, that's kind of what mine is anyways, but I don't have bangs, and it's not like short and then working its way down, because I'm not super into that. But the idea of curling your hair away from your face, I think it's still moderately trendy, and that's what I do with my hair, so I hope it's moderately trendy. Okay, number 7. What's your favorite makeup trend? And I don't wear really any of the makeup trends from the 70s, but the thing I do like about the 70s is that you still is that the 70s was kind of like a resurgence of like the women's movement, and I like how there was a push towards not having to wear makeup and being more natural looking, because who needs to look nice just for guys, right? And I super agree with that, even though I personally like wearing makeup for myself. But I do like the diversity of the makeup trends in the 70s. How you could go from having a completely natural makeup look or no makeup look to wanting to go out to the disco, and then you're just like sparkly and glittery and just overdone almost. I like that there wasn't like a set standard for how like minimal or intense you could go with your makeup in the 70s. All right, refer to my handy dandy notes. What is my, I think somewhere around here in my other videos I did the who would you want to be from each decade question, but I can't ever answer that because I don't want to be people, so I'm just not even doing that this time. So number 7 is, what is your favorite saying from the 70s? And I always feel really, really self-conscious answering this question because I don't know what people said then, and I can Google it, which is what I do. I can Google it and read what supposedly were the sayings from the 70s, but I feel like it could be inaccurate, and I could be spewing inaccuracy in my videos because someone wrote an article that wasn't right. So when I was looking it up, what was on a list of popular sayings in the 70s was, do me a solid apparently became super popular in the 70s, and I actually say that a lot. It's probably Dylan, who is my husband, in case you don't know, probably my husband's least favorite thing to hear me say, and I say it a lot because I'm always like laying in bed or being just a lazy bitch, if we're being honest. I just don't want to get up, and it's always, hey, can you do me a solid? And he knows I'm gonna make him like get me a glass of water or something. But I use that phrase a lot, so if that really did become popular in the 70s, then it's popular in my life. So there you go. And the last question is, overall, what is your favorite thing from the decade? And I think you can probably guess from my lists and everything I said that my favorite thing from the decade is definitely the music. 70s music is awesome. I love, again, how diverse it was. There's so many genre. I mean, we always have different genres, but it seems like in past decades, in other decades, it seems like there's always that one genre that seems to be like way more popular than the others, like outshines the other genres. And in the 70s, there was a lot of recognition for so many diverse, different kinds of genres of music. And they were all really dang good, like still things that people want to listen to now. So, the music from the 70s is definitely my favorite, but I also love Star Wars. And I'm just going to throw that in there. I also love Star Wars, and obviously people still love Star Wars because it's still happening. So, there's that. And that is the end of the video. Who needs these notes? Not me. That's the end of the video. Thank you for watching. If you've watched my other ones, thank you for sticking around and continuing to watch. We have one more coming up for the 60s. I'm not quite sure when it will be out. Technically, it's supposed to be out at the end of this month, but I am going to be in Europe then, and I don't think I'm going to be chiseling out the time to make this video while I'm gone. So it will probably be more towards the middle of June by the time the video's out, but I hope you stick around, and I hope you come back to watch the next video, and make sure you go check out Jamie's channel as well. Don't forget to give our videos a thumbs up. We super appreciate it. And subscribe if you like it, and definitely so you can get the updates on when the next video comes out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you the next time.